Are you having trouble pooping? Because when you drink that, you gon' poop.
I just want to paint it on thick. Do you think I can get a Burt's Bees sponsorship? This week's episode brought to you by Burt's Bees. Not sponsored, but it paints on thick.
Welcome back to I'll See Myself Out. My name is Norm Reynolds.
My name is Dan Lisho.
I'm Ryan Patel.
I'm Terry.
Consider these your only warnings.
There will be spoilers.
Fuck, Daniel.
Did I fuck it up?
Yep.
There will be foul language.
There will be spoilers.
And there's going to be a lot of foul language.
This week we're talking about the best scenes from Ready Player One. It's about a dystopian not too distant future where everybody's decided that their lives actually really suck, so they just play VR all of the time.
The whole world is like a VR MMO. Everybody's part of the same online world. It's basically where I see things being in probably like 10 years.
I think as soon as someone can actually develop a system like that.
I just read online Call of Duty Modern Warfare has 15 million players in it right now.
Like they're all playing like at the same time, like the same scenario.
There's many people playing in like different games, but I think it's an unprecedented number of people in a single game. I think it's literally hundreds if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that though.
So one of the best scenes, in my opinion, was when the Iron Giant, near the end of the movie, when he falls into the lava and he puts his thumb up as he's sinking, to like a throwback to T2.
The spirit of this whole movie is like going to the future, but with like the spirit of like the Atari days.
I don't know if you remember as a kid the Nintendo Power magazine.
Yeah.
Where only if you had that subscription you could find these little hidden things. It brought up so much good memories of when I was a kid playing Atari and playing the early Nintendo games, and some of the games were horrible, but you still have this nostalgia of you were part of that era, and this movie brought all that back.
I guess the thing that connects with us so well is the fact that we all grew up in the era when video games like really started making huge jumps.
Nintendo 64 was like a huge jump.
I think what really makes this movie so easy to connect to is the fact that in the setting of the film, everything's kind of gone to shit. People are living in these sort of like strangely constructed, almost like welfare style, like living towers. They all play together, but like nobody ever meets each other. Nobody ever tells each other the real name, which is like so reminiscent of what things are like now, because the couch co-op and the couch video game era has like, for the most part, died, at least for the moment. It's almost like this movie is trying to tell the story of like how we would get back to that by making characters have to work together to like unlock all these secrets from the original creator of the OASIS. On top of that, how their real lives actually has kind of become part of it.
My favorite scene was the ending, and he's kind of locked in his bedroom as a kid, where you can see that the creator was fully isolated almost his entire life, and he wants to go back in time to the point where he's created his own younger self in that world. And even when he's trying to find the egg, he's telling him all about what this world is, when the main character kind of almost falls in the butt, and he goes, yeah, you don't want to delete the universe. That whole scene to me, it's a beautiful feeling of old and new and understanding, like they're trying to build the world to a better place.
I think one of my favorite parts is when he rallies the army. Parsifal does his Braveheart speech, and he rallies the world's population to come and fight against IOI.
Losing everything.
Yeah, those people are just zeroing out. Oh, yeah. And then add insult to injury, near the end of the, like when they're charging into battle, but it's that calm right before the storm, probably my favorite part of the movie. They rush into battle knowing that they could zero out and lose everything that they've earned over the last however many years.
Like this unbelievable, you have one-sided battle, but yet they're going in anyway.
And they're from every game and every movie across the board. You can see like Mech Assault.
Gundam Wing, I think they had it. Ninja Turtles.
My favorite thing that happened was when the Chucky doll appeared.
Oh my God, he throws him in the car?
Yeah, I panicked in real life. I was really enjoying it, but I also was like...
My favorite part of the Chucky doll is when they cut to the person in real life.
Yeah, and they're like, ah!
And then that happens. IOI, they launch the Cataclysm, zeroes out everybody in the entire OASIS, and then all of a sudden, Parsifal just got that extra life.
I was really enjoying the visuals of when they had groups of people dying in the game, and then all the stations is going red. Talking about all the people in the loyalty center, like kind of freaking out and stuff. I really enjoyed the Shining part. I love that H hadn't seen The Shining, and it was just like, what's going on? Following the twins down the hallway.
My favorite part of the Shining portion of the movie, it's how they delivered the information to the head honcho. It's like, yep, so all we have to do is get through the Shining now. And like turns around and just people are like,
And that's another thing that like I think the film somehow just did a really good job of, like, even though it was set in the future, somehow they really did give it like that like 80s throwback feeling.
The pop culture reference weaponry that they had, what would you choose?
The weapon I'd like to go for would be the sword from Legends of Zelda.
Oh, the Master Sword?
But I'd want to get it from like Link's Awakening, like super pixelated.
I was gonna say, I think my weapon would be the karate chop arm from GoldenEye, and every time you hit somebody, the screen goes red and it makes a deep breathing noise, and you kills everybody like twice. So if I like chop you, like, and you do it again, da-da-da-da.
I might go with a Minecraft pickaxe.
A blaster from Star Fox would be pretty cool.
I'd love the Falcon Punch. Anytime you're like not happy, just Falcon Punch.
I want to be like a Bowser in the Mario Kart, but with that like a non-stop infinite mushroom. So you're just like, and just constantly driving through people the entire day, just shitting mushrooms nonstop.
Would you design an avatar that would look like you or something that's completely different?
If there was a cost to it, I would get whatever the base one was.
I picture Norm as like a bright purple, like down to the nude level 1, like paladin with like a dildo sword.
Sir Norman of Terry's basement. Picturing Ryan like in a leather biker suit. Thinking like motorcycle drivers from the game Road Rash. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
He's just like riding his motorcycle, like kicking people, like throwing chains at cops.
I think I'd probably create a character that looks a lot like me.
The first time around, I'd want to play it seriously and like make a cool character. The second time around, I make the dumbest looking thing possible. Like somebody who's been put in the microwave for 10 minutes.
I go full on, develop a character that looks like a trash panda because they are my spirit animal. We've talked about our avatars and our weaponry. Tell us what kind of avatar you would choose, what you think you would look like in this OASIS world.
Do you guys want to see Ryan actually wearing assless chaps?
I mean, if they fucking crowdsource it, I don't see why not.
That was another scene that I thought was really cool. I loved the race. I loved a lot of things about it. The thing that I liked the most about the race was the race on its own was really cool. Seeing the race from a different perspective, especially where the elements of the game could see him, like the King Kong, just like following him around, trying to smash him.
One of my favorite scenes is when Parzival is still playing the game to try to beat the last puzzle, and they've got him going around the city in the truck. How that kind of fourth wall completely breaks down when you see somebody suspended in the back of an ice cream truck, and there's somebody trying to fucking kill him, and he just does that big runaround roundhouse kick at the end, I think, and knocks her out the back of the truck. I don't know why that took me out of the movie so much, but I found it hilarious.
The one tech of this whole movie that kind of bothered me was the boot suits. When the guy gets hit in the nuts, he gets blown up, but his balls are still like completely glowing.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. So we watched The Sixth Day recently, right? So this is where I think that would go. Like you can't feel things when you want to feel them only.
How many people are going to continue living in this world? They're not going to continue playing the video games. You're going to have a lot of the creepy ass people who are just going to sit there in like virtual porn.
They did actually kind of reference that place. They're talking about the different places where people go, and there's like one like circus tent that had XXX on it. He's like, I can't say what they're doing there, or something to that effect.
Okay. With the level of porn on the internet nowadays, I can only imagine there's people just lost to that
80%.
world.
80% of the OASIS is porn, and then the other 20% is designed to inspire for future porn.
Norm, what would you rate this movie?
8 out of 8 bits. I didn't really have super low or high expectations, but I actually really love this movie. I think this might be my favorite movie we've done for the podcast so far.
I think it's a must-watch. I think I agree with you guys. Like it's not exactly a spiritual journey, but as far as being somebody who loves games, who loves all the pop culture references, I would give this like 5 out of 5 and 64 Rumble Packs.
For this one, based on one of the view, I actually like this movie, which is really good. It's amazing. I would have to give this one full Twinkie or full 12 out of 12 Harrelsons.
I give the movie 10 sensory suit cock punches out of 10.
Want to thank Brock Street Espresso for having us again. Dan likes to say for the 4 walls and the chairs, but I think there's so much more to you guys. You guys make delicious coffee, and I love that. Terry?
We'd like to also thank Man Antler for supplying us some double tasty, triple tasty beer. Great little brewery out in Bowmanville. Stop by. They do movie nights, including screening some of the stuff that we talk about previous weeks. If you want to catch what we did last week, which was Pet Sematary, which is a fucking horrible movie. Oh. If you want to watch what we're doing next week, we're doing Say Anything.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe by hitting the bell above. Below? Is it below? Yeah, it's below. Fuck!
And the Lord spake, saying, First shalt thou take out thy holy pin. Then shalt thou count to 3. No more, no less.
I think it's...
3 shall be the number of thy counting, and thy number of thy counting shall be 3. 4 shalt thou not count, neither count thou 2, excepting that thou then proceed to 3. 5 is right out. Once the number 3, being the third number, be reached, then lobbeth thou thy holy hand grenade of Antioch towards our foe, who being naughty in my sight, shall snuff it.
We lost Dan for a second there.
What were we talking about?